Hey everybody, my name is Jordan and I'm an engineer at Defang. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to deploy your AI agent to Microsoft Azure using Defang. So the agent that we're going to deploy today was built with the Mastra framework. This is a framework for building agents in TypeScript. It's really awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, give it a look. Alright, so this is the sample we're going to deploy. So the idea is that you generate some sample workload items, we get some tasks, a few events in the queue, and then we can ask our agent about the payload. Alright, so like which items seem related? Let's ask. Awesome. So the thing that's really cool about this sample is that it's actually running completely locally using the Docker Compose model runner to run locally hosted models. So we can do end-to-end development with local running models. It's pretty sweet. Check it out. All right, let's deploy this sample to production in Microsoft Azure. So I'm going to sign into the Defang portal. I'm going to sign in with my GitHub account. And I'm going to go straight to samples because we've got a sample for Mastra already. I'll just find it by typing in the first few letters. All right, now I'm going to click this deploy button. The first question it's going to ask me is going to say, hey, you're going to try to deploy a Postgres instance. You need to configure a Postgres password. All right, so I'm going to type something in here. What's going to happen with this string is it's actually going to go straight to your GitHub Actions environment. So we'll create an environment for your stack. This secret's going to be persisted there. In fact, if you wanted to, you could skip this and you could write it straight to the secrets value there. No problem. This is just to make it a little bit easier for you. All right, so I'm going to call this, Mastra. I'll just call it Mastra. All right, so I'm just going to call this Mastra. Cool. So let's go ahead and connect a new cloud account. Like I said, we're going to deploy to Microsoft Azure. All right, now Defang is going to ask us, who's going to set this up? Do I want to set this up myself or do I want to generate an invite link? Now you might be asking yourself, why would I generate an invite link? Well, if your organization is so big that maybe the team that manages your cloud account is not the same one that's deploying your application, it might be nice to send an invite link to somebody else with direct cloud access so they can configure trust for you. Another way that we see this coming in handy is developers that are selling their applications to enterprise customers, and those enterprise customers are starting to ask for private deployments of your AI agents to their cloud accounts. This is really handy if you find yourself in that situation. Enterprise customers are starting to get a little bit more interested in maintaining private dominion over their data. That makes a lot of sense, and we're trying to make that really easy. All right, so for this demo, I'm going to go ahead and just set this up myself. All right, so it's going to ask us to sign into our Microsoft Azure account. We're going to select a subscription, and Defang is going to automatically configure trust between my GitHub account and the Microsoft Azure account. This is going to let us do deployments without any kind of long-running credentials. All right, so I'll click sign in with Azure. Now I've already signed in with Azure, so I'm just going to, it's going to open a window really quickly, and then it's going to close right away. If you haven't, you'll have to do the Azure web sign-in flow. All right, I'm going to select the Azure subscription that I want to use, and I'll click provision. Great. So now Defang, like I said, is going to provision OIDC trust relationship between my GitHub Actions and my Microsoft Azure account. Awesome. We're ready to go. So I need to just pick a region that I want to deploy to. I'm going to pick West US, and we'll click continue. And yeah, we're ready to go. Let's clone this sample and get a deployment started. Awesome. All right, so we're off. I'm going to open up our GitHub repo, and we should be able to see a GitHub action that was started right away. And yeah, indeed, there is our little yellow dot. I'm going to open up the actions pane. We'll check out this first job. And yeah, Defang is running. We are now deploying to Azure. Okay, this first deployment is going to take a few minutes. We're going to need to provision, a Postgres instance, a Redis cache, a web server, a worker. There's a few IAM things that we need to do, networking, etc. So this might take a few minutes. The second, subsequent deployments will be much, much snappier. In those cases, we'll only replace what we need to, but this first one might take a few minutes. So I'll be back in just a few. Thanks. All right, and just like that, our application is now live on Azure. Our deployment is complete. So if we want to open it up, let's see, there's a URL here. Just copy and paste that. And yeah, there's our application live on Azure. That's pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna just open up the Defang portal again. And here's our production stack. I'll just show you really quickly. We can check out visualization of our compose file. So here's our worker, our app. There's a Redis instance, the Postgres database, and our 2 language models. And we can open this up in the Azure Cloud Portal. These are resource groups, so I'll just type Mastra. There's a few of them, but ours here, Defang Mash Production, that's us. And yeah, here are our services. There's a container app for app, the chat service, and everything else. So yeah, this is how easy it is to deploy to Azure using Defang. I hope this was helpful, and if you would like more information, check out defang.io. We also have a group on Discord. Reach out anytime. We would love to help you get your application deployed, and let us know what you're building. Cheers.